The first is plasma membrane, okay? The second layer is cell wall. And now there is one more layer which is equally important for the bacteria, that is known as glycocalyx layer. It's a glycocalyx layer. Glycocalyx layer. Okay, this is the glycocalyx layer, the outer layer of prokaryote. This is the structure observed in the especially prokaryotes. The outer structure. Now, if the glycocalyx layer are of two types. What are the two types? If the glycocalyx layer is thick and hard, okay, just focus the word thick and hard, then it is known as capsule. Thick and hard means it is capsule. When the layer is soft, okay, when the layer is soft, then it is known as the slime. You can see these two words in your NCERT book, the slime layer and the capsule. So it's nothing, it's the differentiation of the outer layer, which is known as the glycocalyx. If the layer is hard and thick, then it is the capsule, hard and thick. It's a capsule. When the layer is soft, it is slime layer. Okay, so this is the three layer which is present in every bacteria. Okay, any problem in this? Okay, so no one will draw anything. Now, in the last class I told you the bacteria has nucleoid, means no particular nucleus is present, but yes, they have the chromosome. Of course, chromosome is very important part for all the living organism. So they have the chromosome. This is the structure of chromosome, okay? Double-stranded chromosome. So I'll tell you, this is the chromosomes. So there is one question. In human, we have 46 chromosomes, that is the 23 pair of chromosomes. So how many chromosomes are present in bacteria? Chromosomes. How many chromosomes are present in bacteria? Anyone like to answer? How many chromosomes are present in bacteria? No one. Okay. Only one. Only one chromosome is present. That is this double-stranded. Now, this region where the chromosome is present, that particular region, we have given the name nucleoid, because the bacteria don't have the membrane bound structures, the endomembrane structures are absent. So the scientist, or that is the common name given to this area where the exactly chromosome is present. It can be present here also, it can be present here also, it can be present here also. There is no specific exact position. So this area is, we will call this area nucleoid. Okay, this area is the nucleoid where the chromosomes are present. And yes, the chromosome is very important. Very important for the bacteria. Okay, now Now there is one more structure. I have told you in the last class that DNA forms RNA and RNA forms protein. Remember? DNA forms RNA and RNA forms protein. Remember this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we have the DNA. So the DNA from RNA and RNA to protein is the very must process for all the organism, and that is also, it will be also done by the bacteria because it's also having the DNA. They need RNA, they need protein also. So what will happen now? We will form the RNA. Okay, before moving towards RNA, I have told you this also in the class that in eukaryotes or in the humans, DNA bind with some of the special proteins and form the chromatin fiber. Okay, DNA are the bound state in the protein to form the condensed form. So what were the protein names?
Stone.
Very good. The histone protein. DNA in the bacteria also contain proteins, but they are not the histone proteins. Always remember, if the question comes, the DNA, the proteins are present in the bacterial DNA, are they the histone proteins? No. Only the histone proteins are present in the eukaryotic cells. But the proteins are present here, they can be any protein, not specific name. Because we know DNA undergo many processes for the formation of protein, RNA, and many other things for the cell. So there are the proteins present. Of course, they have to be presence of the proteins. Now we will talk about the RNA. The RNA has to be made by the DNA. When DNA makes the RNA, that process is known as transcription, which you will study in detail in 12th class, what the actually transcription is. And bacterial transcription is totally different from the eukaryotic transcription. Okay. So now, if the RNA is forming, then definitely there should be a presence of ribosomes. Yes or no? Because ribosomes are the site where the synthesis of protein is taking place. Now the RNA have the ribosomes. These are the ribosomes attached on the RNA. I will give the name. This is the RNA. And these are the ribosomes. Now, one RNA having so many ribosomes attached to them. This structure is known as, can you tell me, any idea? Ribosomes present in many number. Ribosomes present in many number on a particular RNA strand. Think, many means poly. Polyribosomes, no, that can't be a word. But polysomes, the answer is polysomes. RNA strand containing the large number of ribosomes is known as the polysomes. Polysomes means many ribosomes. That too present on RNA molecule. Remember this word, this is the very favorite word in the examination. Polysomes. Okay? Don't write anything. I'll give you the time to write it down. Okay, now. Also, we have studied the plasmids. Remember in the last class, plasmids? Yes or no?
Ma'am.
DNA outside circular.
Okay, very good. But before moving toward the ribosome, plastids, we will talk about the structure of ribosome in the prokaryotes. In the prokaryotes, the structure of ribosomes. Can anyone tell me what is the structure of ribosomes in the prokaryotes? We are not talking about the eukaryotes here. Okay. Just tell me, are the eukaryotic ribosomes and the prokaryotic ribosomes are different? Okay. Okay, I will just make some changes in my question. Are the prokaryotic structure ribosome, the structure of prokaryotic ribosome and the structure of eukaryotic ribosomes is different? Okay. Okay, only one student is saying yes and one is saying no. No. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, they're different.
Okay, then what will be difference? Try what can be the difference? If they are different, okay, they are not different, okay. Okay. Okay, fine. Yes, they are different in the size, okay. The ribosomes in the eukaryote are different in the sizes from the prokaryote. The size of the ribosome total is 70 S. Okay, 70S means they have the two subunit, which is the larger subunit, and this is the smaller subunit. Okay, the ribosomes, this structure, the larger and the smaller subunit structure is similar in the prokaryotes and in the eukaryote, but the difference is in the size of the eukaryotic ribosomes and the prokaryotic ribosomes. If this is totally 70S, then this is the larger subunit is of 50S and the smaller subunit is the 30S. And the total is 70S, right? Right?
Ma'am, it should be 20, right?
Okay. Why not this should be 80? Why not this should be 80? Try to speak.
Because then the sizes might also be equal.
Okay. But some are students are saying the 30 is not 30, it should be 20. We don't have to add the larger subunit and the smaller subunit, okay? Ribosomes are not based on the addition of the larger and smaller subunits. No. Addition, no. This structure, when we will centrifuge the structure of the ribosomes or complete ribosome centrifuge, and when the sedimentation rate or sedimentation area or the sedimentation where the ribosomes are sedimenting themselves or stabilizing themselves in the medium, that we give the exact mass of the ribosome, exact mass. The mass, the total mass is 70 S. S means it's the Svedberg unit. We never give the ribosomes is the like 5 microns, 3 microns, 20 micron. No. We always give the unit S. S means Svedberg's S. Okay. So you don't have to just add them. It's a Svedberg unit. Svedberg. And this, and this. These units are given to the ribosomes on the basis of their sedimentation rate in the centrifugation technique. If we separate the larger subunit from the smaller subunit, the larger subunit will centrifuge and the sedimentation rate will be 50. And the smaller subunit sedimentation rate will be 30. But when both the subunits together centrifuged, then the unit will be 70. They don't sediment at the 80. So you don't have to add them. It's the unit which is based on their sedimentation rate. We are not giving you the size of the ribosomes. Ribosomes always noted on the basis of their sedimentation rate in the process known as centrifugation. Okay, never add them. They are the 50s and the 30s. Together is the 70s. And when we will talk about the eukaryotes, you will see the larger subunit is 60s, the smaller subunit is 40s, and then together they are forming the 80s. This is the structure of eukaryotic ribosome, which we will be seeing in detail. Okay. So these are the ribosomes. I am rubbing the Swedberg because I have written this in my notes also. You can see there. It's a very common thing. Now, we have seen the structure of ribosomes in the prokaryotes. Okay. We have talked about the polysomes. If the many ribosomes are present on the RNA molecule, that structure is known as the polysomes. We have seen this area is known as the nucleoid because the DNA, the chromosome is present. How many chromosomes? Only one chromosome is present in the bacteria. We have seen about the walls, the cell wall, the plasma membrane, and the glycocalyx. Glycocalyx is of two types. The hard, thick is the envelope. Soft sheath means it's a slime layer. On the basis of that, we have differentiated the outer layer of glycocalyx into two parts. Now, the next thing which we will see is the plastids. Remember, the plastids, they are the round double circular DNA. These are the plastids present in the bacteria. Plastids. Okay. In the last class, I have told you that plastids are also made up of the DNA. That is the circular piece of the DNA. Always in the circular structure. And they are the double-stranded because the DNA always present in the double-stranded form. But they are the extra chromosomal. Why they are saying extra chromosomal? Because they are present outside the chromosomes. They are not included in the chromosomes. Outside the chromosome means extra chromosomal. Okay. So now I have one question. All of you have to take part in this question, okay? Because I have discussed the part. This is the chromosome and this is the plastids. We know both are the DNA, okay? What will happen if we remove the plastids from the bacteria? What will happen? Sorry, it's plasmids. What will happen when we remove the plasmids from the bacteria? What will happen to the bacteria if we remove the plasmids? Will bacteria die or will bacteria stay? Okay, the bacteria will lose its resistance property. Okay, my question is, will the bacteria die or will bacteria survive?
It will survive.
Okay, bacteria will survive. Okay, bacteria will survive. Okay, fine. The first point is, if we remove the plasmids, the bacteria will survive, as you are saying. Okay. What about the chromosome? If we remove this chromosome, Now the bacteria will survive or bacteria will die. If we remove this chromosome, this is also DNA. Okay, what will happen to bacteria if we remove this DNA? Will it survive or it will die?
It will die.
Okay, Umehan is saying the bacteria will die. Anyone like to answer this question? Die, die, die. Why? Why? The plasmids are also circular DNA. You are saying removing the plasmids, the bacteria will survive, and removing this circular DNA, the bacteria will die. Why? I did not understood the logic. Why? What are you trying to say in this? If the bacteria will die, Ummehani, can you justify this point? Why? Gaurika, can you justify this point? Why? Devi, can you justify why the bacteria will die?
Is it because DNA makes RNA and RNA makes proteins?
Okay. Okay. Very good. Because this is the very important part of the bacteria. Everything is depending on this chromosome, like us. What will happen to the cell if you remove the nucleic acids from the cell? The DNA, if you will remove from the cell will die. What will happen? The control center of the cell is the DNA, the genes, the chromosomes, control center. But the plasmids are not that important. Yes, they are providing the resistance of antibiotic. That means they are just having the one or two simple genes which is just giving the bacteria some of the extra features like resistance to antibiotic. If you will remove the plasmids, nothing will happen to bacteria. It will still survive. And yes, one more thing. Plasmids can be present in any number. Okay, it can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3, it can be more than that. That depend on the bacteria to bacteria. Any doubt till now? Any doubt till now?
Yes, what are the functions of chromosomes in prokaryotic cells? Because in this cell, what are the functions?
Alvin, you were absent in that class too when I was telling you what are the functions of the DNA forming the RNA, RNA forming the protein. Were you
In
absent?
that, yes, miss.
No. No, you were not absent in that class.
In the
Because
first
that
part,
that was the very first class when I was about to start this chapter.
so miss, so commonly chromosomes have the common functions. Because since you were talking about the prokaryote bacterial cell, I got confused because I thought another functions.
See, chromosomes are the genetic material, the DNA. What function they will be differing in? Nothing. They will have the particular function in the eukaryotes also and the prokaryotes also. They have to form the RNA and RNA have to form the protein. This is the central dogma process which is common for the prokaryotes as well as for the eukaryotes. So the chromosomes having the DNA, they will definitely form the RNA because I have just told you the chromosomes are forming the RNA with the help of the ribosomes. And now this RNA will form the protein which will be used by the bacteria for their own living purposes. Because bacteria is a cell. Imagine the eukaryotic one cell. Just remove all the organelles, remove the nuclear membrane, still they have the chromosomes in them. Chromosomes will do their work as it is in eukaryotes and in prokaryotes. But the difference is the eukaryotic cells are more developed, more complex than the prokaryotes. But here also chromosome have the same function of forming the protein that is the end material of the central dogma process. And central dogma is DNA to RNA, RNA to proteins. Clear, Alvin? Alvin, clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Okay. Quickly draw the diagram. Everyone quickly draw the diagram, because I have not drawn this diagram in my notes. Quickly draw this diagram. Let me know when you are done. Done? Done? Students, say yes or no.
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Quickly. I have to complete program today because we have to start the eukaryotes.
Done, ma'am.
Done, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Now again stop writing. Stop writing now again, please students. It's an important thing now. Whole prokaryote is very important, so please pay attention. I don't want anyone to get confused. Okay. Now, we know the prokaryote is also the living cell, right? The living organism. As the Alvin asked me, ma'am, what is the role of the chromosome? They are performing the same functions which our cell perform, but the difference is our cells are more complex than the prokaryotic cells. Now, you have heard also that our body store food, or our body store the glycogen. Yes, our body store glycogen, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Our body also store the glycogen for the energy purposes. Now we have seen everything, but we have not seen what is the food material for the bacteria. Okay, I have told you that bacteria eats the spray by engulfing and forming the food vacuole, and when the prey died, everything digestion has been taken place, then the waste material will be thrown out of the body. But what will happen to that digestive material, to the bacteria? Inclusion bodies. When you will observe the bacteria, you will see there are this type of structures present in the bacteria. Okay, this is the glycogen granules. No one will write, I will give you time. Glycogen granules. Okay, but there are the bacteria which are known as the cyanobacteria. They store the cyanophysin starch. Cyanophysin starch. This type of starch is present in the cyanobacteria, which is also the storage material. Cyanophysin starch. And one more thing, when you students like pizza or the burgers or a Chinese, anything, you try to eat more, okay, because that's your favorite food. So same happen with the bacteria. When the phosphate is present in the surrounding in the large amount, then they try to store the phosphate also in their body for just the precaution in the unfavorable condition. So these are the phosphate granules. Phosphate granules. And now this storage of everything is known as inclusion bodies. So inclusion body is nothing but the storage material of the bacteria, the stored product of the bacteria, the glycogen, the phosphate, the cyanophysin starch. Cyanophysin starch usually you will see in the cyanobacteria, okay? Cyanobacteria, okay? Usually you will see the cyanophysin starch in the cyanobacteria, and in the rest bacteria, this phosphate and the glycogen are the very common, and they are present like this, and these bodies are known as the inclusion body. They are nothing. They are the storage food of the bacteria. Quickly make them. Quickly. It's a cyanophysin, cyanophycin, cyanophysin starch. Brackets, in brackets you can write down, it's found in the cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria, cyanophysin. Quickly make this the inclusion body. It's a type of a reserve food material. When the unfavorable condition falls, these structures or these bodies are used to provide energy to the bacteria for its cellular purposes. Stored. Done? Students, quickly. Done? Okay, done everyone? Okay, now just please see the board. Everyone, please. In the last class, we talked about the mesosomes. I have told you the whole structure, but where are the mesosomes? Now, the bacteria can make the mesosomes anywhere from its plasma membrane. These are the very important structure for the bacteria. It's mesosomes. Very important, and one question will definitely asked on them, the mesosomes. Okay. How many of you seen the notes which I have sent in the class or in the group? How many have seen the notes which I have sent in the group? Tell me, how many of you seen the notes? No one? Anyone? Okay. Who said yes? Alan, you said? Okay, Alan has seen. Anyone else? Brita? Okay, fine. Just make the mesosomes here because I have to rub this and I have to make you understand exactly the role of mesosomes. Make the mesosomes, and this is the complete structure of the prokaryote bacteria. In your 11th class, if you get the question, define the structure of prokaryotic bacteria. If you will draw this diagram, the marks will be full, complete marks. Okay, fine. Now I will rub this diagram. Okay, I have to make another diagram. In the notes, you have seen in the mesosome parts, Greta and the Alan, sorry. I have circled the cellular respiration there. If you have read the notes, I have circled the point cellular respiration. I'll show you. I know no one is interested in the notes. See here. I have circled the word cellular respiration in the mesosomes. Why I have circled this? Why I have not circled any of the rows? Now I'll explain why. And no one even bothered to ask me, ma'am, why you did this. Okay. Now I'm not making the complete structure, only the plasma membrane I'm making, because in the plasma membrane, this structure mesosome will form. Only in the plasma membrane. Okay, this is the plasma membrane. No one will draw now. This is the plasma membrane, this is the mesosomes. Okay, in your NCERT, they have told you the mesosomes can be of 3 types. The vesicle, the lamellae, and the tubules. These are the lamellae. Okay, if the plasma membrane got detached from this type of structure, they will still present there only, like this. So these are the tubule structure, and these are the vesicle. By default, if they get detached from the plasma membrane, then also they present inside the structure only. So that's why on the basis of that, we have distinguished the mesosomes into three structure: the lamellae, the vesicle, and the tubules. Fine. Now I will rub. If you want, again, I will not rub. You have to make the diagrams. Fine. Now, as I marked that it is very important in the cellular respiration. What is the cellular respiration? Can anyone tell me what is the cellular respiration? Cellular respiration. Okay, fine. Easy question. In the eukaryotes, which organelle is responsible for the making ATPs?
Mitochondria.
Mitochondria.
Mitochondria. Very good. Mitochondria forms the energy, right? In the form of ATP. What is the structure of mitochondria? I'll show you. Usually we draw mitochondria double membrane. Right? This is structure of mitochondria. Very basic structure. The two layers are present. Have you ever thought why the second layer is like this? Why they are folded? Have you ever thought while drawing the diagrams they can be like this simple structure? Then also it will be double layer. Have anyone thought why the membrane has folded inside the particular organelle? Because they need, yes, they need more surface area to perform that heavy role of generating the ATP, that is the respiration process, the respiration of the cell, the production of the energy. They need more area. So what they do? They fold the membrane. Fold the membrane so that the surface area get increased and they get more area to perform and more area to generate the ATP molecule, that is the cellular respiration. Whenever the question comes, which organelle or which structure in the prokaryote has the analog of the eukaryote organelle? Analog means having the same structure in the eukaryote cells. The answer is mesosomes. Mesosomes have the same structure. See the mitochondria. Why they have done this part? To increase the surface area. To increase the surface area because they are involved in formation of the energy so that the prokaryote organism can survive. Every living organism needs energy. From where it is getting energy? They develop energy. They make the energy. In our body, mitochondria are performing that specific role. So who will perform in the prokaryotes? The mesosomes are performing that cellular respiration. So the first point for the mesosomes are they perform cellular respiration. They perform cellular respiration. Now, this is the very interesting part of the prokaryotes. Okay, so only one function. Yes.
Ma'am, is cellular respiration and respiration the same? Because in the notes you marked cellular respiration and then again you wrote respiration in that. Mesosomes.
Yes, because I just wrote the respiration so that you students don't get confused that cellular respiration is different thing and respiration is different thing. But you got confused. It's the same thing. Cellular respiration and the respiration, because it doesn't have any nose or the lungs, so it cannot breathe. Okay, so it will be just generating the energy as it known as the cellular respiration. Why we take oxygen? Because oxygen gives us energy. Okay, that is the structure, or that is process known as whole respiration process. But when our cell take those structures like the oxygen and the proteins and develop its own energy on the cellular level, that's why we call that the cellular respiration, because our cell is performing that particular function. So don't get confused, it's the same thing. Cellular respiration and the respiration, especially in the case of the prokaryotes. Okay, Anil?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So now these mesosomes, not that simple. So much of work and only one role, simple cellular respiration, that can't be possible. So there should be more functions for this particular mesosome. What can be the more function? They secrete many enzymes. They secrete many enzymes. That means secretion is their other process. Secretion is the second process or the second role of the mesosomes. So always remember, they contain enzymes here. The enzymes are present in the mesosomes. Enzymes are present in the mesosomes because for every process, enzymes are required by the cell. To perform any process in the cell, enzymes are the first and the foremost and the very, very, very important to perform any function in the body. So if they are performing the cellular respiration, means generating the ATPs, generating the energy, they need enzymes. From where the enzymes are coming? They have the enzymes. They secrete the enzymes. They are specialty. They have the specialty for secreting those enzymes which is used by the cell or the used by the own mesosomes to perform the cellular respiration. This is the one example of the enzyme. One example, the cellular respiration. Now the other example, DNA replication. Note down this quickly. Quickly note down. Done? Done, everyone? So whenever in the life you get the question, the short note or the write about the detailed structure or anything about the mesosomes, try to make the diagrams. Never hesitate to save your time by not making the diagrams. I am repeating this point again and again. Biology means the diagrams. Biology is nothing without the diagram. See, if I will explain you verbally everything, will you understand anything? No. That's why I am drawing the diagram so that it will be very clear to you exactly what I am trying to convey. So never Save your time by not drawing the diagrams. Diagrams are the must in the biology. Okay, done everyone? Now I have to remove this. Okay, now the next question is, ma'am, how they help in the DNA replication? What is the role of the mesosomes in the DNA replication? Can anyone tell me? Okay, that role is not clear till now. Okay, that role is not clear till now. The studies are still going on this stuff in this topic, that how the mesosome is helping the bacteria in their its own DNA replication. Okay, what do you understand with the word DNA replication? What
Copying
do you
of DNA.
can you repeat again?
Copying of DNA.
Okay, very good. It's a DNA copy. The one DNA, it's replicating itself and make the two copy. Now see here. No one will make anything. Okay, I will give you time to make the diagrams. See, this is the structure. I'm only taking the plasma membrane. And no one will get confused. The mesosomes always form in the plasma membrane. No cell wall, no glycocalyx. Okay. What happened? We usually know when the cell has to divide, first it undergo DNA replication process. That's the thumb rule. When the cell has to divide, any doubt? Okay. When the cell has to divide, DNA replication. Why DNA replication? Because the cell has to divide into two parts and everything has to be equally distributed. Okay, especially in the case of the bacteria. Amoeba, fine. They are not doing that such things. They are just dividing with the help of the binary fission, and they are not doing this much structure like DNA replication and all and all and all. Maybe they are doing some of the processes which are not even clear what is happening in the amoeba. But in the bacteria, the particular bacteria which affect our body, which sometimes give us disease, when we have studied those bacteria, the scientists got to know that they also undergo the DNA replication, the E. coli bacteria present in our body, in our gut. Okay, the Streptococcus pneumonia, which is responsible for causing the pneumonia in our body. So what happened here? As I have shown you, when the cell has to divide, the chromosomes get attached themselves to the mesosomes. Always make the chromosome double stranded, okay? No one will make the chromosome single stranded. They are the DNA, they are the double stranded. What will happen now? Excuse me. The chromosomes will replicate. I am making with a different pen because it will be clear for you. Now there are the two copies of DNA strands present. Two copies. Original, replicated. Okay, the two copies of DNA has been formed here. Now the cell division will start. What the scientists have seen in the cell division, at the time of the division, this type of structure forms. means 2 bacteria, 2 mesosomes and 2 chromosomes. Now the bacteria can divide easily and make the 2 daughter cells. 2 daughter cells. The actual role of mesosomes in the DNA replication is still now, it's not clear at all that why chromosomes is getting attached to the mesosome and what the mesosomes are doing in the process of DNA replication. We know that the mesosomes are responsible for the secretion of the enzymes. Yes, these enzymes are helpful in many of the processes. But what is the actually role of the mesosome in DNA replication? It's not clear. Still, the studies are going on in this topic that why it get attached to the mesosomes. There can be many theories, okay, but exactly the conclusion is not given yet. But this is the division of the cell happen. At the time of division, 2 mesosome structure will be formed and each of the mesosomes is having the chromosome copy. After this type of structure, then finally cell divides its plasma membrane. Please draw this diagram. And before coming to the conclusion, first make a diagram which I have made, this type of structure. This is the first structure, this is the second structure, and after this the third structure, the division of the plasma membrane. Quickly make the diagram. Done? Done, students? Okay, done everyone? Shall I rub the diagram? Say yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Okay, now we will see about there is one more structure which is present in the prokaryote. The first diagram, remember, which I have told you to make? There is one more structure, especially in the bacteria, which is having the pigment. Which pigment? The photosynthetic pigments. Okay, what happened? Now the bacteria don't have the chloroplast, right? They don't have the chloroplast where they can store the pigments which help in absorbing the energy and make the food. So what happened? Again, they do this type of structure. Enfolding of the membrane take place in the bacteria inside the cytoplasm, and this is filled with the green pigment. And these are known as the chromatophores. These are known as chromatophores. These are known as the chromatophores. Chromatophores are responsible to contain the pigments. Pigments, and that pigments can be of anything. Pigments, yes. Any pigment can be present in them. But we are giving the example of cyanobacteria because they contain the pigment which is responsible for the photosynthesis. Cyanobacteria. If you want, you can make in the diagram anywhere this type of pigment, the chromatophore. Example, cyanobacteria, which has a photosynthetic pigments. Photosynthetic pigments, and these are known as chromatophores. Chromatophores are the structure which contain the pigments for the bacteria. Especially the cyanobacteria, the photosynthetic pigments are present. And these are the extension in the cytoplasm. Always remember, everything is inside the cytoplasm. Nothing is outside. Because they don't have the chlorophyll or the plastids. Okay? That's why they make this type of structure and they store the pigments here, which are responsible for the absorption of the energy. Or you can say absorption of the sunlight, the photosynthesis, sunlight. Okay, fine. Now we will see the last thing of the structure, that is the how the bacteria moves. Shall I rub? Shall I rub, students? Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Now we will see about the how bacteria moves. We have seen how they cook food, how they store energy, how they store food, how they replicate, how they divide, how they breathe. We have seen everything, right? Now we will see how they move here and there. See, the bacteria contains a flagella. Flagella. Okay, what is this flagella? Flagella is helping in the movement. The structure of flagella is like this. This is the actual structure of the flagella, which have the three parts, okay, as I have told you, which have three parts. This is the basal body, which is attaching themselves to the membrane of these bacteria. This is the hook, and this is the filament. This is the structure of the flagella, which help the flagella to move. It will always move like this filament, and the bacteria can move here and there. It can go anywhere. Like this, the flagella is moving, the filaments. This is the filament, this is the basal body, and this is the hook from where the flagella is attached. And this is the bacterial body. This is the basal body where the hook is attached, and from hook, it's a filament like this. The filament. Okay. Can anyone tell me? The filaments are made up of proteins or anything? What the filaments are made up of? Tell me. Are they made up of protein, carbohydrate, fats? No idea. They are made up of proteins. Everything, they are made up of proteins. They are made up of proteins. Now, there is one more structure like this. What are these structures? What are these structure? Anyone? What are these structure? Anyone?
Fimbriae.
These are the cilia. Cilia. Cilia and the flagella. They both help in the movement of the bacteria. You have seen the boat, the many people pushing the boat like this, pushing the boat back. Everyone is moving in one direction, right? So that they can leave the water back and the boat can be pushed forward. Same happens to the bacteria. They are like this handle, which is just pushing the water back, and they can move forward. Or you can say the swimmer, the drivers, they are doing this type of structure to move forward. Same thing is done by the cilia. So the flagella is like this. It will help the bacteria to move, and the cilia will be moving together in the direction in which the bacteria wants to move. So we have seen the flagella and the cilia. Now there is one more thing, the fimbriae. Yes, it's a fimbriae and the pillae. What are the fimbriae and the pillae? Can anyone tell me? What are the fimbriae and the pillae? See here. Fimbriae are the bigger than the cilia, okay, but smaller than the flagella. This is the flagella. These are like this. Fimbriae. These are like this, bigger than the cilia. They don't help in the movement. So how they will have? Remember, fimbriae with finger. Spider-Man, he can climb anywhere with his hands. Spider-Man, same with them. These help the bacteria to attach themselves. Imagine when the bacteria enters your body, how it will attach themselves to any cell? With the help of the fimbriae. These are the fingers which they can attach themselves. Fimbriae is used for the attachment. The fimbriae, remember with the finger. The finger, we hold something with our fingers, same. They help in the attachment of the bacteria. Now there is one more structure which is known as the pillae or pillae, or whatever you want to say, you can say. It's pillae. These are this type of structure, but these are the much thicker than fimbriae. These are the pillae. What is the role of pillae? We have seen the cilia in the movement, flagella in the movement, fimbriae in the attaching. And why this pillae is present? Anyone can tell me why the pillae is present? Anyone? See, fimbriae are the similar, or fimbriae are the part of the pillae. Fimbriae are the part of the pillae, but your NCERT are saying these two are the different, so we have to follow that rule. The fimbriae are the part of the pillae, and they both are made up of same protein, that is the pillin protein. Fimbriae and pillae are the same thing, and they are made up of pillin protein. In the future, you will learn under the pillae, the fimbriae falls. Under the pillae, the fimbriae falls, and they are made up of the same protein. That means they are the same thing. Only the role is different. The pillae helps in the process of conjugation. Another heavy word, conjugation. What is the conjugation? Okay, quickly, if you want to make, you can make this diagram or tell me I can move forward. You want to make the diagram or is it fine for you? You understood everything? You want to make diagram or shall I rub?
We are making the diagram, ma'am.
Okay, then at least speak. Okay, quickly. This last thing, conjugation. Then I have to start in another class. Okay. Gram positive and gram negative bacteria. Okay, that's a 10-minute part. We will continue that on Sunday. Always remember, pili and the fimbriae are the same thing. That is the pillin protein they are made up of. But the role is different. Fimbriae help in the attachment. Helps in the attachment. Cilia and the flagella, they help in movement. Cilia and the flagella, they help in the movement. They are also made from the protein. Okay, just see here, it's a flagella. It's made up of fimbrillin protein, Fimbrillin, fimbrillin protein that are made up of 163 amino acids. Just a little bit of more knowledge. Fimbrillin protein. And fimbriae and pili are made up of pillin proteins. Done, everyone? Shall I move forward? The last thing I just want to tell you, what is the conjugation, okay? We will not go in the depth of the conjugation because that's not the part of your syllabus. But I just wanted to tell you only 1 or 2 lines about the conjugation.
What
I
is
know
the
you-
number?
It's 163. 163. 163. 163. Okay, quickly students, quickly see what is the role of conjugation. Conjugation is the process in the bacteria. It's a very unique process, only the bacteria will show, and then also only few bacteria show the process of conjugation. What happened to them? This is the plasma membrane, okay? This is the other bacteria. One bacteria will transfer its genetic material into the other bacteria. They join themselves with the help of the pili fiber. Pili. This is the pili. And one bacteria is joining to the other bacteria, and what they do, they will just transfer its genetic material to this bacteria. This is the process of conjugation, transferring its own DNA or the chromosome into the other bacteria. Only the few bacteria can do, not all the bacteria. This bacteria can do, but this bacteria cannot do. This is the process by which the bacteria creates its diversity, genetic diversity. Genetic diversity. This is the process of conjugation, giving its own chromosome to the other bacteria. Now you are thinking, if he will give his own chromosome, then what will happen? After the replication process. After replication process, they have the 2 chromosomes. Now the 1 chromosomes will be transferred to the other bacteria to increase its genetic diversity. What will happen? This chromosome will bind with this bacteria's chromosomes, like this. And now when they will make the copies, there will be a different type of genetic structure of that specific bacteria. So this happened with the help of the villi. The conjugate formation of bridge in between 2 bacteria, villi. Okay, so now we have only left with the gram positive and the gram negative bacteria, which we will see in the next class, that is on Sunday. Any doubt in this? Till now, any doubt? Till now, any doubt? I will be taking attendance. And if you have any doubt, let me know, please, students. Okay. Priyadarshini?
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Emil, you can leave, Priyadarshini.
Thank you, ma'am.
Emil, Anaga,
Present, ma'am.
Sawad.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, you can leave, students. Erica,
Present, ma'am.
Adra, you can leave. Keep on leaving. Alan,
Present, ma'am.
Net. And it is absent. Okay, keep on leaving, students. Adarsh,
Present, ma'am.
Farhan.
Oh, present, ma'am.
Okay, Karen. Keep on leaving, students. Farhan, you can leave. Karen, absent. Umehani.
Present, ma'am.
You can leave. Lena.
Present, ma'am.
You can leave. Munira.
Present, ma'am.
Leave. Thank you. Alwyn,
Present, ma'am.
you are okay now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. You can leave. Rima. Okay, Adya. Okay, keep on leaving, students. Thank you. Greta, you can leave.
Present, ma'am.
Thank you. Julia. Okay, keep on leaving, students. Devi, thank you. You can leave.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Siddharth, you can
Present,
leave.
ma'am.
Siddharth. Thank you. Jijo,
Present, ma'am.
you can leave. Johanna. Okay. Bridgetha. Okay. Sarah. Okay, Sarah, you can leave. Thank you. Trevor. Okay, you can leave. Ryan. Gorika, thank you. You can leave. Thank you, students. Thank you, students. Yes, Gorika, I saw.